Good evening, everybody. How's everybody this evening? I hope you're all doing well. And as you may have gathered, this isn't Warframe. In fact, due to circumstances beyond my control that I do not propose to go into, was obliged to take a 24-hour break from streaming. And then to return, I thought I would do a quick look at the game that's in front of you, which is Iron Nest, a heavy turret simulator. This is the demo, so presumably it's going to be severely restricted as to what you can do. And for some reason I'm not getting audio, and I should be. Oh, okay. I do have audio on. Oh yes, there we go. So, the premise of this, basically you are in sole command of what looks like a twin turret monster on legs. Very Dieselpunk. It is apparently technically set in the 1920s in Spain, so about a decade before the Civil War, or so, depending on when precisely in the 1920s it is. You are in command, as I understand it, of twin 800mm cannons, which basically puts it in line with the Schwerer Gustav, which also had an 80cm bore, and I think is one of the largest guns, if not the largest gun ever deployed in combat. As usual, or maybe not, I can't remember, you can see my frame rates up there. And I have over here G overlay telling me at the moment what the performance is like. This uses the Unity game engine, apparently, so at least we're not having to run Unreal. Let's see what we have to do. Okay, confirmation of fire accuracy is the sole objective. Read, measure, calculate, load. Yep, okay. That's fairly straightforward. I have played this a little bit just to get myself familiar with it and to make sure it's running, because as usual, I'm running under Linux, and I can say so far it has been running under Linux just fine. Just so you know what the game settings are that I'm using. Yes, 3440 by 1440, 60 frames a second limit. It's don't worry about that. It's a 34-inch widescreen. Graphics quality is set to ultra, and I have simply left everything as it is. And at this I can get certainly 60 frames a second. It's running at about 80% of the GPU at the moment, and 27% of the CPU. The GPU is a 9070 and the CPU is a 5800X3D, just to give you some perspective. Right, let's have a little look around. We are here. I assume this is the game saving. And volume controls, I would guess. Record slot. Okay, so we are not looking like we're going to get a... Oh! Huh, how about that? So I'll have to come back to that and see what it does. I didn't know it would do that. It's playing martial music in the background. So let's have a little look around. This is obviously our mapping table. That's us, I would assume, and that is our first target. Up here you have, let me see, we have, that's our ammunition. I don't know about anybody else, I'm not sure if that looks like 800mm. Until I found out, there's a Reddit post from one of the developers who says it's 800mm. I thought it was 16-inch, which is substantially smaller. There's your interrupted screw thread breach. That's obviously for loading the projectile and powder charge. I wonder if they allow us to get it in the wrong order. That would be embarrassing. Locked for loading. So this is the left-hand gun. Here is our turret rotation mechanism and elevation. So in principle, if you are firing along the right appropriate trajectory, you could conceivably engage two targets at different range if they're in a dead straight line. Yeah, certain parts of it are locked off. So right now we can only control the left-hand turret. That looks like a living area. In fact, I happen to know it is. It looks quite impressive, to be honest. Now that we're walking around, what's our graphics card utilization like? 85%. And 22% on the CPU. What have we got down here? This looks like engine controls of some description. I don't know whether we'll get to play with that. And I happen to know that this takes us down into the area below. What have we got down here? Leaderboards. Well, that is definitely Spain. There's Portugal. What have we got? We have a kitchen. We have a toilet and a sink, which we can't apparently use. That would be funny if they implemented that. Ooh, and apparently, I don't know, there's a door here that we can't do anything with. But we do have a coffee machine. What do we do? Select our roast. Oh, yes. Okay. Place your cup. Balance heat and pressure throughout brewing. Okay, I've just been hitting escape here. And... oh, okay, click on it. And that... oh, controls little... alright, let's see. Heat. Okay, that seems to be about my limit. And... let's have some coffee before we start shooting things. right. Apparently I'm not very good at making coffee. Okay, that's... The clipboard's a little awkward. Hit tab to show it up like that. Hit caps lock to put it away. Yes, okay. Alright. Now that we've had coffee, let's go and shoot something. So this is us. Now it told us where we were, so let's make sure. We are at H355. That's H3, and that is 55, and the target is at Q442, which would be there. So presumably, I hope I get this the right way. Track it to there. So now we've got our bearing and range, 85.5 degrees. Input distance to target. This looks like an analog fire computer. Analog fire computers certainly did exist. I don't remember how complex they were in the 1920s era, but I think they were around in some ships in World War I. So that's quite reasonable. So, distance to target. Let's see. 8.86. Range of these things, if it's like the Shearer Gustav, was 47 kilometers with a high explosive round, and I'm going to have to look it up now. I think it was something like 42 kilometers for an armor piercing. So we're going to have 2 powder charges and calculate required elevation. 53.16 degrees. Okay. Escape? Yes. And here's our loading mechanism. So we have, it did say high explosive, so we will load that. And that gets rammed in. That's nice, actually. That is 1, and that is 2. That's very battleship type loading mechanism there. Puts the loading cradle away. Up comes the breech. And they show it rotating into position. That's a nice little touch. Okay, so all we've got to do now is set the bearing, and the bearing was 53.16. No, not the bearing. Yes, oh, okay, bearing 53.16. Other way. Well, you can just about see the landscape changing. You do, it seems, have a viewport of some description. What's it? 53 point. Oh, okay. Other way. I can't imagine that precision is going to be absolutely necessary, because the bursting charge on this thing was fairly substantial. Oh, this is not... Okay, can we do it with this? Yes. 53.1 degrees. So we're facing the right way. All we need now to do is get the elevation right, which was... Oh, no. I got that wrong. 85.5 degrees. My bad. 53. What was it? 85.5 degrees. Nearly shot up the wrong part of the countryside. $85.5 degrees. So we should be now facing in the right direction. And our elevation was 53.16 degrees. It looks like the fire control just popped up. And can we? Yes, we can. 53 point... What was it? 53.16. Right. 53.16, 85.5. The range should have been calculated for us. Let's now... So, fire mission confirmed. Shell type confirmed. Bearing confirmed. Ranging confirmed. Gun armed. And I'm assuming... Yep. Pull. Pull that. Okay. What have I not done? Ah. Let's see if we hit the target. I have no idea whether the flight time is realistic. Okay. That's it. Ooh. This is... Oh. So, judging by that, it looks like we did hit. And it's suggesting we go to bed. Alright. There is a bed down here. Now, in reality, of course, you'd have more than one person, I think, doing this. Monstrous strike on Mercy Ward. Oh. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Oh, there we go. December 19th, 1927. So 9 years before the actual start of the Civil War. Anti-monarchists detonate a bomb in the hospital's entry courtyard, murdering 163 and maiming over 300 citizens. The attack occurred during visiting hours, which has been described by the king as particularly unsporting. Goodness me. Alright. Hold enter. Alright. What do we do next? Okay. Let's see what we do with this. Okay, observation assets N9 and M2. They are N9 and M2, which strikes me as being particularly unhelpful. So, now the thing I'm thinking is we are going to basically have to fire multiple shots. Triangulate the target position, HE only. Okay, so we aren't going to be given precise. Okay, we got a spotter N9. Let's put a spotter's marker down. Can we do that? Yes. Where we got the spotter? Where was it? Okay, let's just make sure. N953. N9. So he is there. And we have another one at M254. M2. 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 5, 4. And it's not giving us any more information than that, except to say that we presumably now have to get the spotter reports. Now the question is, what are they spotting? This is a bit like a battleship, isn't it? I have no idea how to triangulate from those two. So what do we guess? Is that all the information we've been given? within the city. Triangulate the target position. Check the adjacent typewriter for field reports. There's an adjacent typewriter. Where's the... Oh. Okay. Ah, bearing. There we go. 95 degrees from spotter 1, 47 from spotter 2. 95 degrees from spotter 1. So what we're going to do... 95 degrees from spotter 1. 95 degrees. "95 degrees from spotter 1. We'll just go to the edge of the map. From spotter 1. And what was it? "47 degrees from spotter 2. 47 degrees from spotter 2. 47, which would put us there. "95 degrees, 47 degrees. So we will therefore plot a fire mission from here to there. Right. 12.99 kilometers. That's actually kind of interesting. I obviously need to pay a bit more attention. So, target is 12.99 kilometers away. .99, or 13 to be precise. Now we're obviously going to require 3 powder charges. Calculate gun elevation. 51.96. Bearing 65.8. .8 degrees. Let's load up. It did say HE, didn't it? Pretty certain it said high explosive. HE only. Standard burst round. HE. Load that. One. 2. Now, it's not actually impossible that for higher rounds we'll have to do this twice, but we'll see where that works. Depends how much room there is down here. Elevation. .96. This is not at all abnormal. The idea that you'd have to basically rotate your gun down for loading and then re-elevate it. As you can see, yeah, getting a loading mechanism that would work across yeah, all aspects would be difficult. 51. Oh, actually, what am I doing? 51.96. 51.96. 51.96 degrees of elevation. Bearing 65.8 degrees. Preloaded. So, fire mission confirmed. .96. Shell type confirmed. Bearing confirmed. Ranging confirmed. Gun armed. Oh, well, they got the time to impact there. This is actually mildly. It's certainly different. So presumably we are going to have to adjust based on what the spotters are telling us. Okay. Let's go and have a look and see. The use of caps lock I find a bit questionable. I can understand why they do it, but of course that means that, yeah, you're going to have to look at your keyboard configuration afterwards. Alright, so... target additional requisition required. Continue fire mission. Heading 95 and 47. Did they move? I don't think 95. Oops. Hang on, what's that? Oh no, that's leg control. 95 and 47. 95, 47. Oh, it looks like we just fire another round. Let's make sure. Target destroyed, reconnaissance photos transmitted. What do they want us to hit? Two additional hostile elements. I'm going to assume it's those. I wonder, can I drag this? No, I can't. Is there an easy way to... No. So I'm assuming that that's the targets. Now, this is an interesting device. I don't know how realistic it is, but I think what it allows you to do is say, right, if we land somewhere here, I should be able to take out both of those targets. I don't need that. What I do need is to plot another target from here. And we'll drop it right between the two of those. I'm not happy with that. Sorry, I'm just going to replot that. Okay, there we go. Bearing 68.1 degrees. Bearing. I may as well set the bearing 68.1. Bearing 68.1. We need high explosive. That's an HE round. Oh, I need to set in the range, don't I? Sorry, I forgot that. 13 kilometers. Yeah, almost exactly the same. $52 degrees. Ah. I put that in, yes. So that should then return to nearly the right. Yeah, 52 degrees. It's not going to be a huge amount of difference. Honestly, with the kind of bursting charges these things had, I mean, half a ton. It was about 500 kilograms. Surprised we didn't take out the other target. I mean, in a way, this is sort of Lemmings, but with better graphics. Who remembers Lemmings? 52. Okay. Right, let's confirm everything. Left gun, 52 degrees. Yes. Fire mission confirmed. Shell type confirmed. Bearing, 68.1 degrees. Yes, confirmed. Ranging, 52 degrees. Gun armed. Let's go blow up something. Well, that's interesting. It didn't automatically switch this time. Right. Let's see what this says. Targets destroyed. Starbursts over the Royal Palace. Starburst over the Royal Palace. Okay. Okay, so we've got to do things slightly differently. So we will get rid of that. Now I can't remember the details. Okay, 255 degrees from spotter 1. Spotter 1 is this guy over here. 255. Hang on. There we go. 250. Alright, 255 degrees. Spotter 1, and it was 5.21 kilometers from spotter 1. 5.21 kilometers from spotter 1. Can I just drag this back? No, I can't. 255 degrees. I can't remember. 5.21 kilometers. 255, 5.21. Well, that doesn't tell me, does it? Nope. So 5.21. 5.21, 255, 5 point. There. There we go. So in principle, we are shooting star shell at that location. Let's make sure we've got our numbers right. 255, 5.21. 255, 55.21. Okay. That's from the last time. But we want star shell. Which one is star shell? Oh, I forgot. We need to plot our from here up to there, presumably. Okay. Distance. Oh, I've got to remember the distance. 4.56 kilometers. Why has it not put it on there? 4.56 kilometers. All right. 4.56 kilometers. I mean, that's practically next door for this thing. It was 4.56, wasn't it? Yeah. 4.56 kilometers, and one powder charge. All I've got to do is get the ammunition right. What's our bearing? .2 degrees. Oops, wrong way. Can't do the elevation yet. To make sure it is right, it did say 50. no, gun elevation 54.72. Which one is Star Shell? Star Shell, of course it is. One powder charge. Ram that in. Double check everything. Oh no, 54.72. 54.72. Okay. Fire mission confirmed. Shell fight type confirmed. Bearing 12.2 degrees. 12.2 degrees. Ranging confirmed 54.72. 54.72. Gun armed. Let's hope it's an airburst and doesn't land on the ground. Well, we got an airburst. Let's see what High Command says. Okay, we've got to look at the photos. Aha! So he wants it. Hang on a second. The other numbers, distance, direction. Distance. Direction. Ooh. Now I want to check the numbers here. Nope. Yeah, 5.21, 255. I did get that right, didn't I? 5.21. Okay, so it would appear then that this is not entirely correct, and he wants us 4.41 kilometers. What? That's a really, oops. That's a really, really bad mistake. Distance. Yeah, okay, distance from the impact point to the target direction. Alright, so he's given us rather awkwardly there. So if we say then that we want to drop it around about there. So it's 4.41 kilometers this way. What? Trying to bisect those two lines there. That's a really terrible shot. Now, granted, it's not my fault, but still. What is slightly disturbing, in case you hadn't seen, is it's... Hang on. Hang on. I can't scroll this, can I? Okay, oops, sorry. So, 4.41 and... yeah, somewhere between those two lines, which would make sense there. So we need to change our bearing to 324.2 degrees. 324.2 degrees. Oops, sorry. That's irritating. Let me just close off the bedroom area. Oh, he says 300. Why do I get the feeling that should actually be our target? But we'll see. 324.2 degrees bearing. Yeah, I'm just going to double check that. 324.2. 324. I transposed it. 324. It's easier to do it this way because... $324.2. Okay, 324.2. And what was the range? The range is 5.89 kilometers. 5.89. Gun elevation 35.34, which I can't do until that's done. So we want another star shell. Well, isn't that fortuitous? We want 2 powder charges. Oh, hang on. Did we just ram that home? Oh no, we did not. This is kind of almost meditative. I think it would get a little bit boring after a bit. 35.34 degrees. see what we could have done with both is actually load 2 and then, yeah, but still. What did it recommend? 35.34. Right. So let's check everything. Fire mission confirmed. Shell type confirmed. Bearing 324.2. Confirmed. Ranging 35.34. Yep. Ranging confirmed. Gun armed. It's a little odd that it's not automatically transferring me to this, but we'll see. Why do I get the feeling we're going to have to do another correction? Well, we hit where we aimed. What is this saying? Fire mission complete. Stand down until further orders. Hey, how about that? And I can safely say that wasn't my fault, that first shot. They actually had the range. Now, this is where that spotter arranged the angle there and then corrected. That's a hell of a correction. Alright, stand down till further orders. Oops. Now, in the past, that meant... Is that it? Oh, there we go. It's over there. A night of celebration marred by atrocity. All is well. This is an approved statement. For sale, one slightly used crater. Ideal for pond, cellar, or conversation piece. For sale, window glass, half price. Loud noises build character. Citizens are encouraged to endure with enthusiasm. For sale, earplugs. For sale, Maps of Madrid, 1580 edition. Well, we haven't finished. I'm going to continue until the demo essentially ends. To that end, I am going to go and empty my bladder, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Right. Let me have a few comments. Oh, a first comment that occurs to me. Barrel's lifespan for something like this is surprisingly short. The original barrel used by the Scherer Gustav lasted for just under 300 rounds. It had fired 250 rounds apparently in tests, and then 47 at the siege of Sevastopol, at which point accuracy was so degraded they sent the barrel back and installed a new one. I think the old barrel was simply bored out and relined, which is a perfectly acceptable way of doing it. Barrel life was generally considered to be effective barrel life between 100 and 250 rounds, which isn't huge. Main battleship rounds, like the 16 inches of the Iowas, did not have a fantastic barrel life. I think that was in the 250, 350 round range, but don't quote me on that. Right. Let's see what we do. Brief cutscene. Are we walking? I wish we could see. Oh, I was going to make a few remarks about the game so far. I hope there's more to the game than we're seeing. I don't necessarily expect to see us walking around outside and doing things like that. Oh, I didn't realize this was here. And I assume we are, what, walking? Who's guiding it? That's what I would like to know, given that we seem to be the only person here. One thing I will say about the design of the gun itself, I mean, I've only got the pictures that been shown. It would be horribly vulnerable. You'd need major military infrastructure surrounding it to keep it protected. This would not be a solo thing. The original Scherer Gustav, I think, had about... Well, it had a brigadier general in command of it, and I think he had, I can never remember whether it was 800 or 1200 men under his command, and I think some of that was to actually operate the gun, to build it, because they pretty much had to build their own section of railway. It was a railway-based gun. The recoil was absorbed by rolling back along a stretch of railway, which is the only way they could have done it. And then I think the rest of it was for protection. You would definitely not be doing this solo. Alright, let's see. Okay, repositioning complete. We are now at I-653. Let us see. I-6. Where's I-6? Aha, we are up here. I-6. 5-3. We are there. Okay. That looks like we're probably where we're shooting at. Okay, we got three spotters. Let's get rid of... Oh no, that's been cleared. Alright, we got 3 spotters. One at H1004. H1004. Spotter 1. H10. H1004. There. Okay. Where's the other ones? K890. K8. K8. 90, which is down here. And then the third one is A194. A194. Oops. A194. Well, that's spread all over the place. What other information do we have? Infantry 1. Infantry 2. 222. 256. 222. So we'll just go all the way across the bottom. To 20. To 22. Make sure we got that one from spotter 1. 222, 256 from spotter 2. Spotter 2 is this one. 256. Oh, look at that. Got it almost exactly right. 256. There's our target. Yes. We want to hit right there. Okay. We will change our bearing to 267.9. Oops. Let's close our bearing 267.9. That's pretty close. 67.9. Okay, 267.9, 267.9. Okay. Let's go and set our range, 5.32 kilometers. That's pretty close. Something like this, and we want 2 powder charges. All right, elevation 31.92 degrees. All right, so first of all we got to load it. Oh, what was it? Should be high explosive or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna go with high explosive. Oh, okay, I've used up all my ammunition. How do I get more ammunition? I need more ammo. Oh, requisition console. There's a requisition console. Where's the requisition console? Ah, over here. Requisition. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. How do I use this thing? Card slot. How many rounds do we think we need? I think 3 should do it. Do we need more powder? Probably not. How much rounds of ammunition? No, he got more than enough. Oh, okay. Standard HE, standard burst. Yay. Love the way that this resets after you've loaded that in. I'm not sure I like the credit system. We'll see how that works. $1.92. Ooh, he didn't like me doing that. 31.92 degrees. Right. Let's see. Okay. Fire mission confirmed. High explosive. Bearing 267.9. 267.9. Range 31.92. Gun armed. Looks like we were a bit off. Let's see what this is saying. Okay, it doesn't. Seems to indicate that was close enough. I can see the crater there. Ah, you know what I should have done? I should have dragged this over. Because that will give me a better idea. Yeah, that's one of those things where, ooh, yeah, close enough seems to have done it, I think. Yeah. Alright, what was the second fire mission? Doesn't say anything else. Okay, infantry number 2. 275 from spotter 2. 275 from spotter 2, which is here. 275 degrees. That should be over here. 275. Spotter 2. Actually, it would probably be a good idea at this point to simply clear the previous. Yeah, that makes things a little bit clearer. 275 from spotter 2. 008 from spotter 3. Where is... Oh, he's down here. 008 from spotter 3, who is somehow... Oh yeah, he's alright. 008. Wow, that's almost straight up. Eight degrees. There we go. There's our target. And so we want to drop something from here all the way to there. Bearing 290.7. 290.7. Rotation. Range is 6.99 kilometers. Oops. (41.94 degrees). Oh, did I not load this? I did not, did I? Oh, I see. I need more ammo. All right. Okay. High explosive. It's going to be interesting to see if I can induce some kind of catastrophic failure in this. To be honest with you, I'm not sure that going down to the 100th of a degree in any of this would make a huge amount of difference. But, yeah. Right, so, let's see. Confirm mission. Shell type is high explosive. Bearing 290.7. Ranging 41.94 degrees. Gun armed. Let's go and give some people profound emotional moments. Well, that looks like that worked. Let's see whether or not... Okay, so apparently now we have priority. Oh, I see. So I've still got to do the other one. Let's go and do the appropriate requisition card. Scout plane. Ooh. Scout plane. Grid P4. Grid P4. Grid. Oh my goodness, look what we got to do next. Okay, I think, okay, this has become a priority, so that means, therefore, I shall be able to drop the previous one. I am going to need armor piercing, it says. Right, so we'll grab armor piercing. And then we will request scout plane. Now here's where it's going to get interesting. Slightly. Grid P4. Okay, so grid P4 means I've got to... Let's clear that and clear that. So, where's grid P4? I actually have no idea what this is, but I'm going to use it as a marker. P4. Grid P4 is... P4. So, the logical thing to do would be to stick it right about in the middle. Then plot our bearing from here. To about here. 104.9 degrees. 104.9 degrees. 104. Oh. Right, I'm assuming, I mean, that's not enough, so... .9 degrees. I am a little bit curious. Do I actually have to put... I mean, the grid should be enough. Oops. Alright, let's see what that happens. So, what now? do I get to see? Ah, okay. That then is the enemy, and it says it is an ammunition cache, which means we're going to have to be very accurate with this one, it seems, because they say they want armor piercing. Oh, okay, let's go grab armor piercing ordnance. Armor piercing. This is irritating. Right, so now we need to plot our fire mission to there. And if you want some idea how precise we've got to be, this should actually give us a pretty reasonable sort of idea. Because, yeah, that's how accurate I am going to have to be. Oops. Let's just clear that and clear that. There we go. So we just center it on this, and oh, blast! It's going to be difficult about this. So that's how accurate we're going to have to be. Blasting charge of one of these little shells was a lot less. Yeah, I think it was a 250 kilo blasting charge on an armor piercing. Okay. So, let's set the bearing first to 104.8. You'll notice that this isn't actually showing that information anymore, which is... Oh, look at that. I can, in fact... Oh, that's good. I can't read my own notes now. 104.8. Oh, that helps. Learning how to play the game as we go. Bearing 104.8 degrees. I can sort of imagine, you know, that the analog nature of this is going to irritate some people because of the length of time, unless I've missed something. Length of time to get this rotated in position. While entirely reasonable, it's fairly slow paced. This is almost meditative in some ways. I mean, I like it. It's actually kind of fun. Not sure how it will work as a streaming game, by the way, but 104.8. Oops. 104.8 degrees. Yes, 7.47. 7.4. Now, one thing they ought to do, alright, is... This should really specify the kind of ammunition you're using, because the weight of an armor-piercing shell was significantly greater than a high-explosive shell. These weighed, yeah, a lot more. I'd have to look it up. And a simple reason, because a high explosive is sort of mostly hollow, and then you shove it full of explosives. Whereas with something like this, yeah, an armor-piercing shell is a lot more solid, so it's going to be heavier. Distance 7.47 kilometers. Okay, it's... yeah. Gun elevation 44.82. Let's get loaded. We have an AP shell selected. There's a huge amount of effort gone into this. I have to wonder in the background to what extent they simulated an actual, real gun of this type, because despite the fact that we're on legs and it's Dieselpunk, a lot of this is, to be honest with you, I don't know how realistic. I understand their baseline was actually the 380mm turrets on the Bismarck. I can tell you that a Bismarck's turret would have had a lot less room. What they've really done here is put the command and control and everything else in the turret, which I don't think they did in the Bismarck. The Bismarck's turrets, in fact, most turrets were taken up mostly by the gun. And yeah, other bits and pieces, but I don't think they had individual plotting stations. They did have local control, but I don't know if they had their own calculators. What was it? 44.82, and this one I'm gonna have to get us 44.82. Oops. Okay. So, fire position confirmed. Shell type, armor piercing. Bearing 104.8. Elevation 44.82. Gun armed. I don't know why they do this. Well, we're headed in the right direction. I don't know to what extent this might be real for a plotting station. Well, that looks like a direct hit. Hostile. Cast destroyed. Okay. 3 hostile infantry units. Okay, so I think we're going to be doing infantry number 3. Do I have any HE left? I should do. Yeah, HE. Good. Let's clear this out of the way. Clear that. 5.33 kilometers from spotter 1. Ooh, this is going to be challenging. 5.33 kilometers from spotter 1. 7.32. Okay, let's see how. Let's clear these out, seeing as we've had those successfully done. Let's see. Ah, look at that. You can copy that on. So, spotter 1 is here. So somewhere we're going to draw a line 5.33 long, I think. 5.33. There. And 7.12 from spotter 2. What? Oh. I was gonna say, that doesn't make any sense. There you go. 7.12 from spotter. I mean, that almost argues it's right there, doesn't it? I mean, I can't juggle those numbers any other way, can I? 5.33 from him. The only way... Yeah, that's pretty good. Wow, that's really, really close. So my guess is then... I did say that, didn't it? So to draw a line from spotter 1 where it intersects with the line from spotter 2. Where the two lines meet, that's where your target is. That's my best interpretation of what I'm supposed to be doing. So we will go and drop that right there. $320, 100. All right. Oops, sorry. 320. It's 1.92 kilometers. We are not going to need a big powder charge for that. I mean, that's get out and spit at it range. Okay, so we want one powder bag and one HE shell, which we have set up there. Load in one bag. Make sure our bearing is set correctly, which I nearly forgot to do. Hang on, which way are we going? Yeah. 230. I'll be very interested to see what how the game is released. You know, what else it contains in here. I mean, obviously, you know, you get access to the second cannon, which would be useful. $320.2 elevation 23 point hang on, 23.52 degrees. Right. Shell type high explosive. Bearing 230.2. Ranging 23.52 degrees. Gun armed. And fire. Ah. Okay, they did not get a very good. So we need to draw a line. We can clear that. We can clear that. We can clear that. So it is 5.99 kilometers this way. Whoa, that's a really bad spotting. I mean, that's terrible spotting. Ah. Come on, guys. It's very tempting to say it's that, isn't it? Oh. It is that. Let's check and see what the... Oops. Infantry. They did say it was infantry. Yeah. I think that's a reasonable thing, even though, yeah. Alright. .288, 6.77. I'm gonna need more high explosive. What have I got in here? No, I need high explosive. Right, distance 6.77 kilometers. Two bags of powder. 40.62. No, I haven't loaded yet. Let's get the bearing right. Trying to think how the... Oh, do you know what? The spotter's instructions. Yeah, never mind. Yes, okay, they maybe could have. If I'd paid a bit more attention, there might have been more than one solution. You hear the groaning there. Right, let's go and load up. Getting this stuff loaded would be, you know, interesting. One of the problems about these guns is you basically can't unload them. I mean, if you end up, oh, you didn't fire your last shot, you know, you've loaded the gun and you're ready to fire. Let's suppose you want to not fire. Well, but you want to make sure that you don't have a loaded chamber. How do you do it with a gun like this? And this applies to a lot of really big guns. And the simple answer is, while you could, I suppose, conceivably extract the powder charge, you can't extract the shell. There's, you know, you can't. There's no way of doing it. So basically, to make the gun safe, you have to fire that last round somewhere. Elevation 40. Degrees, 40.62, sorry. All right, let's see. Can I turn that off? Oh, I can. Hill type, high explosive, bearing 288.0. Ranging 40.62 degrees, gun armed. Yeah, that's a heck of a difference. I mean, I drew a line from him over here, so I suppose... I don't think that would have worked. Maybe it would have done. Eh. Okay, that would appear to have done that. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That was my last shot. I believe I blotted my copybook. What was I supposed to do? Okay, infantry number 3 destroyed, infantry 2, infantry 1. This is which way does it scroll? Hang on, what was the rest of my briefing here? Okay, so this is intelligence number 4 and 5. So how am I supposed to hit that? Intelligence incomplete. Intelligence incomplete. I'm going to hazard a guess and say I probably need to make my own intelligence, I guess. Because that looks like infantry over there to me. So I am inclined to drop a shell on that. Doesn't appear to be anything over here, so I am going to drop a shell right there. Interesting thing, let's see, that first shot. Alright. Given that we have an obvious marker, we're going to do that one. We're going to need high explosive for that. Do I have any high explosive left? I don't think I do I? Why do I have an extra arm? Oh, I thought I was going to miss more with the armor piercing. Yeah, no, that's armor piercing. I don't want that. I'm going to need at least 2 more rounds of HE, though, aren't I? Okay, so we should have 2 more rounds of HE. Let's make sure we've got ourselves lined up for that. Right, HE, standard. Bearing 7.73. 7.73. Does get a little repetitive, it has to be said. Gun elevation 46.38. $293.8. 293.3. Load up our shell. Yeah, that is high explosive. Load that up. Game's behaving well. It has to be said. No particular glitches, no particular issues. What was my elevation? 46.38. Yeah, not the best idea in the world, I suspect. Oh look, you can see that main handle actually moving ever so slightly as you do this. 46.38. I'm going to double check that. Okay. High explosive. Bearing 293.3. Ranging 46.38 degrees of elevation. Hope I get this right. It's a bit like a point-and-click adventure, too. Oh, we're headed in the right general direction, so that's a good thing. How I'm supposed to find that other infantry? Ah, yes, of course, I forgot. Okay, looks like we got that one. hit infantry number 5. Okay, infantry number 4. I'll hit infantry number 5. How am I supposed to find... Hang on. I got infantry 3. How am I supposed to find this? Believed active in friendly urban sectors. Okay, so now the only possibility I can really think of that I have to do at this point is send in a scout plane, because I mean we've pretty much nuked the hell out of this, and the one area on the map that we have not any information on is this one. So I am going to assume oops, sorry. Let's just clear this and that. So my feel about it is, whoops. The only friendly area we've got left to check is this around here. So we will send a spotter in to have a look at B4, I think. So that will be around about here. I think a spotter plane, unless I am missing something in particular. We already hit that one. So let's just review 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we are going to need to send... I don't see any other way of doing it. So we'll send us a spotter to B4, see what we get out of that. Scout plane to B4 on a bearing of 258. That's interesting, you can't go backwards. 258.4 degrees. Well, that was lucky. Let's see what transpires. Aha! Look. Right at the edge there. We got lucky. Yeah, this is basically the game of Battleship with more technology. Yeah. You hit my battleship. Oh, look at that. Do you know what? I'm kind of tempted to shoot armor piercing at that because there's a hospital right next to it. But I'm not going to. I'm going to shoot high explosive. Let's see how that works out for us. Bearing range 8.4 kilometers. 62.8. Load up. Do I have any high explosive left? I don't. HE. Oh no. Yeah. No. That's right. No, that's fine. Oh, I had an extra. Thought that was an armor piercing. Oh, interesting. There are interlocks in place. I don't know if you can see it. That's there's an interlock to stop you from activating the rammer too early. That's nice. I like that. You could probably send a shell from one end of the map to the other, to be honest with you, with this thing. Right, let's see if we can manage this. Shell type, high explosive. Bearing, 262.8. Range, elevation, 50.40 degrees. Gun armed. Be interesting to see how they do it with two of them. Oh yeah, right gun. That's going to be interesting to see how that works, actually. Right, let's see if we... Got a suspicion there's going to be occasions where for things like this you really are not going to want to fire high explosive. Yeah, but you can see we also hit other things. Let's see. There we go. Stand down. We did it. But yeah, I also destroyed a hospital. I shouldn't laugh. That's a dreadful thing. AP would probably have been a better choice. So one thing I've learned from this so far playing the game, there are going to be times when you're shooting in urban areas, high explosive might not be the best choice. I mean, you can see I hit the targets here, but there were civilian infrastructure nearby and I hit that as well. Same happened here. Obviously in real life that would be horrifying. And to be honest, in real life, using an 800mm gun like this on something like that would not, when you're looking for what is essentially precision shooting, probably wasn't the best thing. Alright. This is a fairly lengthy demo, it has to be said. No idea what this lot does. No idea at all. And the demo's given no particular indication either, up to this point. I was kind of hoping that this was save your progress, but apparently that's not to be. I'm kind of waiting for the demo to pretty much come to an end. Oh grief, have you seen this? For sale, hats previously owned, well pre-ventilated headwear. For sale, home, some reassembly required. For sale, children's toys, recovered from various locations, cleaned and ready. That is slightly disturbing. Services, family portraits, capture your family today before circumstances change. It's interesting that they used an autogyro. Can't remember if autogyros were available in the 1920s. Alright, let's see. Oh, we can scroll down a bit. For sale, reinforced lunch pails now with shrapnel-resistant lid. Services, rubble sorting. Good heavens. Well, I've been doing this for 2 hours. Have I been doing this for 2 hours already? Goodness me. I might as well continue. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I will take a quick break, as is my wont, and I will resume. I have a suspicion it's all going to be pretty much the same, but we'll see. I'll tell you what, one of my concerns about this game so far is that it is awfully repetitive. I sort of have to wonder how much of this is going to be grabbing of the intention for a long period. So far, yes, it's been interesting to try. Chill mode. Oh, okay, the replayable sandbox. There is no end, there is no objective. Okay, so I think we've actually come to pretty much the end of what is worth playing. So it's just going to be more of the same thing. Let's have a little look. Enemy forces. Yeah, this is just more and more of the same thing. Okay, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's more of the same. Reference point alpha. I don't know what that is. What's reference point alpha? Okay, hang on a second. Now I'm kind of curious. H732. That's where we are. H7. Where is reference point alpha? Doesn't really tell me. Oh, I got that right without even looking. How do you find a reference point alpha? Okay, let's put our spotters down. H582. Oh, hang on. Spotter 1. Oh, it's right next door to me. H5, 8, 2, F4, 8, 8. And H802. Well, he's really close as well. Okay. What other information did we have? Reference point alpha. Oh, I see. So we got to find reference point alpha. So we'll set reference point alpha. Yeah, it's obviously at this point it's more of the same. 67 degrees from spotter 1. 67 degrees from spotter 1. This is excessive. Yeah, we could probably hit that position over there. And 13.43 kilometers from spotter 2. Oh. No, sorry, 12.43 kilometers from spotter 2. 12. Oh wow, it really is a long way out there. 12 point. Was it 12.43? I doubt they could have. So our target would be there. Okay. Let's see what they wanted us to hit. Ah, okay. Underground caches, we will require armor piercing. Yeah, that would make sense. And I don't have any ammunition left. Let's go grab an armor piercing shell. Armor piercing. That is, yep, that's armor piercing. So 10.29 kilometers. I'm wondering if they're going to do things like put a time limit on some of this stuff. Oops. Yeah, if it's going to... this is going to be the question. Actually, there's a couple of things that occurred to me. One, what other stuff is there to do here? Yeah, we know we've got some block stuff off for the right-hand gun. And there is something downstairs that apparently is to do with moving your vehicle. I don't know what other kind of missions they have. So what's occurring to me is, how much are we going to end up paying for this, the game? Because if it's £20 maybe, would I find that reasonable? Sorry, I was losing track of it. But it may be. 15 would be better, I think. Depending on what other content we get. 78.5. 78.5 degrees. Let's load up an armor piercing. And this is where we're going to get interesting. Hey Prakash, how you doing? That is armor piercing. I'm kind of doing this one more thing in Iron Nest. See how it works out. I'm concerned about its repetition. I understand. Graphics aren't bad. I mean, yeah, I like the graphics. I like the look of the thing. It's very appropriate. Okay. Armor piercing. Bearing 78.5 degrees. Range elevation 41.16. Gun art. Say hi to Nerdist and the Fur Babies for me, as usual. Oh, great. They got me in the wrong location. Well, that was just a matter of correcting the fire, rinse and repeat, and I'm not sure I'm going to. What I am going to do is quickly have a look down here because we've not paid any attention to this. I've got no idea what I'm supposed to be doing with this. I'm guessing we got the thing moving. But I have no idea what we did. So now I technically have no idea where we are. Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is. That's the requisition table. By no means that. One thing that I must admit is a little bit irritating. You can't see out. There's no way of seeing out at all. At least not that I've seen. Oh, what's this? Engraving registry. Oh. What's this? Oh, that's a bit weird. You can just... never mind. Can go completely around. I thought I must admit I didn't think you could. I've got no idea what I did to the system by fiddling with this. Yeah, these don't make necessarily any sense to me. I can only assume that's somehow to do with moving us, but it's not giving us any more information here. Is there anything else I can do here? Hello? What's that? The attention to detail is actually quite something. Look, you've got more drums of paper here, and more drums of paper there. But to be honest with you, I mean, okay, as a demo, yeah, that's fine. The thing is, I'm asking myself, as you may or may not have gathered, is there something else that I didn't realize we had a choice. And this is obviously whatever the challenge mission is. I have a horrible feeling that this is going to get boring. If that's all we're doing, essentially what I've done up to now in various permutations and combinations, then excuse me a second, that just opened up a new page that I don't necessarily want. That's a link to something. Yeah, I mean, it's fun so far as it's been, Oh, what's that? Oh, no. But I do have questions about that's interesting. I can't exit this now that I've entered it. Yeah, I do honestly sort of wonder how it's going to last. Is it going to be worth replay? Is there replay value? I mean, I've been doing this for nearly 2.5 hours, and it's basically been the same thing over and over again. I mean, yeah, you can send out patrol planes, and this is, they said, the sandbox mode, which I suppose you could expect to be repetitive. It's just a demo. I would like to see more of what is going to be doable in the game before I even thought about buying it. Bearing in mind, though, this is just a demo. But for all I know, it gets much more interesting, much more quickly, once you actually buy the whole thing. I would have to look and see what their development goals are. It is, I think, due to go out on, is it pre-release or release soon? I think sort of next month, maybe. I'm not positive about that. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on it. That's for sure. Oh, and in case anybody's wondering why I'm not running Warframe, I wanted to do something a bit different, and this was it. And at the moment, everybody will be live streaming the new Jade Constellations quest, so I'll wait until they're not doing that. I mean, I certainly recommend, if you like, I mean, here's one thing. It's basically a game of Battleship, but with a much better or much flashier interface put on it. Like I say, I am. The more I think about it, the more I am concerned about longevity. Yeah, no, I mean this is set in the 1920s. I mean, you're basically in a gigantic walking gun turret. Everything's analog. It's called a Dieselpunk game. It's a fairly hardcore Dieselpunk game. And I can't get out of this screen. Unless I go with this counter battery. That might actually be interesting, but I'm not necessarily inclined to do it right now. Like I say, I've been doing this for now for 2 hours, and to be honest, I've pretty much had enough. The counter battery aspect of it would be interesting. It has to be said. Okay, well, that could be interesting, but I mean, it's going. Oh, there's a timer. So that is kind of interesting. What does it mean, though? Restore master power switch up to on. Where's the master power switch? Was that thing I flicked off? It would get interesting. If there was maybe a bit more to do. Oh, that's... Oh, you can sort of see outside. I want to see outside. Ah, here we go. Just let me see outside at all. That's your outside view. Oh, look! If I jump, I can actually see the barrels and I can see landscape. Can I drag a chair over and sort of stand up on something? Yeah, I can, sort of. So you do get a look at the landscape. I don't know to what else that can occur. And you can just jump off, and apparently you don't get damage. So there's not much else around here. We do have the coffee machine. We have a toilet. We have a sink. It's a little one-person moving apartment with two massive guns. But yeah, I think I've had enough for now. I hope anybody who ends up watching this for about 2 hours is going to get a reasonable sort of preview of what it's like. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on it, see what happens, see how it develops. I sort of remember the name Wolfpack, I think, but I don't think I never played it. this is your second. Obviously, this is the second. Oh, oh! I just realised it unlocked the second turret. Huh? How about that? Play long enough, and you'll unlock both turrets. So now, I can set up 2 fire missions at once. That would speed things up. Things like counter battery fire. And you do have, let's see, that's obviously the loading mechanism for that, but what was that? I have no idea what that is, but it does not sound. Oh, that was Master Power. All right. I mean, I do find it is interesting that they did unlock the second barrel. But I've only got one targeting computer. Oh. Oh. You can. Do you remember I was saying how you should be able to? They've made things. I've unlocked stuff. So in principle, if I said, for example, okay, we'll leave it at that and say, okay, let's see. That's high explosive. If we calculate for that will give us that elevation. If I set this to AP, what is AP? If I set it for that, they've got the same elevation for armor piercing as for high explosive, which isn't technically correct, because the armor piercing shell weighs, as I said earlier, a lot more than the high explosive. So, I mean, especially if we were to set a really long distance. As I said, this is Schwere Gustav. What's the maximum range? Oh, 30 kilometers. That's short range. So for AP, elevation is 60 degrees. But for high explosive, it shouldn't be that far. Because high explosive rounds way less. Yeah, that would not technically be correct. But, okay. How come I never noticed that before? Maybe it was blocked off. Still. Yep, I'm going to bring this to an end now. Thank you everybody who've been through all this. You're going to have to draw your own conclusions about whether it's the kind of thing you might want to play yourself. I'm going to wait and see myself before committing. I'm not sure it's a very streamable game because everything so far looks pretty much the same. Everything I've done has been pretty much the same. Which is making me a bit concerned about the boredom factor. But I'm not going to immediately say you should or shouldn't get it. One, it's obviously a matter of personal choice. And two, it does going to partly depend on what the full game is like, and I will definitely wait to see what the full game involves. I particularly want to see what this is for, because I assume it's for moving you. But yeah, I'm not seeing really how that helps you. So, I should be back tomorrow. With a bit of luck, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Yeah. I should be back in tomorrow morning. In principle, I should be playing The Long Dark in Interloper. And I should be back tomorrow evening with Warframe. And tomorrow evening I'll probably do Jade Constellations. Although I might hold off on that because I have other things to do. But I may just follow the stream and just do Jade Constellations the moment it's out, which is today. And of course Dianix Prime is out today, and then there are 2 other non-primes out, Orion and another one that I don't have details for on the top of my head. Anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. For those of you who come along later and who watch this far, thank you very much for doing so. I will see everybody next time. I hope you all have a very good day.